What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Ulysses. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is Suppe. We've got a little bit of a role reversal here. Normally, Ulysses is the Greek player, and normally Ulysses is the Greek player and Suppe is the Norse player. But Suppe going for the Greek and Ulysses going for the Norse. What a crazy time to be alive. And we've got a huge amount of giraffe on this map. This is a very, very difficult map to play for the Greek players. And the reason is because the Greek players are terrible. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. It's because the build orders which the Greek players use really favor having really nice food in their base. If you don't have nice food in your base, you have to slightly change your build. And I feel like Suppe hasn't done this. You don't really need the gold that early because you know you can't hit a 4-minute advance time. So I'm going to talk a little bit here about build order theory. For me, I feel like you have to play to the map. In Age of Mythology, you have to play to the map. If you have 1,000 food in your base, you should be doing a 1,000 food build order. If you've got 400 food in the base, but you've got the giraffe over here, you realize that you're going to have to build 2 granaries. 2 granaries and walking time means there's no way to hit that 4-minute build order, but it is possible to hit 430. So if you can hit 430, you need to be making sure your temple is up by 330. So this gold income that you're getting early doesn't matter. You want to actually go out onto this hunt earlier and before you start going onto the gold, in order to make sure you make up for not getting that immediate gathering of food. That way, you're going to be able to get your temple down, get your 430 advance time, and live the dream. And if you don't do that, then things can be a little bit slow. Now, maybe Suppe is going to be able to get the upgrade here because of how good this food is. It's nice and close. But if it was a different situation where it was maybe a bit further on, we'll see. We'll see how Suppe's going to go here. But, I mean, well, yeah, who knows? Anyways, Ulysses, on the other hand, he's playing as Thor. Now, Thor, luckily, you don't have to build another ox cart. You can just move it. So there's not a whole lot of difference in the Norse build order. The thing is, though, that you're just going to get delayed because you have all that walking time. So you have to play around that and probably go for the 7 food, 4 wood, 4 gold build instead of something crazy fast. That's kind of it. That's my build order theories, and deal with it how you want to deal with it, and that's it. All right, so checking back in, we see the temple coming up. Lots of gold in the back. Maybe getting early husbandry here is also a nice play, a nice plan, trying to advance a little bit later, and things like that. The other thing is that if you do end up not putting as many villagers on food first, you have to send more villagers over here. And I really only want to send roughly like 8 villagers or 7 villagers onto this food. And I want to put the rest onto my wood over here in gold. Now, we are seeing Suppe is getting this herdable, eating this herdable nice and early, and he is having to get this extra villager. So I was right. This is exactly how it works. The temple is already up, and you don't need it up this early. Or you do need it up this early, but things is he could have done it a bit better. And he's going to go for a 445, slightly more delayed, but not that big of a deal. I'm just saying this in terms of like pure efficiency. When it comes down to Age of Mythology, unlike other RTS games, Age of Mythology is an incredibly strategic game where the minimalist things matter a ton. Things like 15 seconds do end up mattering a lot. And as you try and get to that 2K level at the very top level of the game, then you start noticing them. Until then, you can get away with it just with certain like decision-making skills and things like this. Shingles are still being uncovered here. This is the extra house hit point relic, a very, very strong relic to be used for defensive Norse players and all the other stuff in their base. Things like using your houses to almost snapping that Gnoska boss. He gets it. He does get it. dead Katoska boss. It's so sad. He's a sad boy. He's a sad boy. Anyways, there's Soup's next age, and Ulysses on the other hand, super delayed. Super delayed classical age here for Ulysses. He's gone 8 food, 5 wood, 4 gold. I would say that normally there's not that much of a problem. That's because he's gone double Skraeling, or double Ulfsark, I should say. There isn't that much of a problem with advancing late with Norse, because you can be building her so while you advance to the next age, as we're going to be seeing a second town center here from Ulysses. I think this is exactly the play to do here. There's not that much food. You don't want to fight the Norse player, or you don't want to fight the Hades player in the classical age. You're going to finish this food by the time he comes in. And not only that, Soup is actually going for his own fast second town center here as well. So we're going to have a very peculiar matchup here. I'm not actually sure I've seen very many fast 2 town center Greek wars, or Greek Norse wars. And the question is going to come, what do you do if you're Norse here? And I think logically the best answer for me is fast heroic age, funnily enough. Go fast heroic, go in with those stronger Huskarls and make that work. I don't, and maybe even like a semi-fast mythic here as well, going into an early Fimbulwinter could be really strong as well, because the thing is that because Soup has gone 2 town centers himself, he's going to be super delayed with military units, because he's going to have to farm here. If he wants to go classical fighting, he's going to have to farm. And farming is a big investment. So we'll see how it's going to go. These villagers are finishing up on the hunt here. And I mean, there's some berries over here he can eat, but for the most part, things are a little bit difficult here for Soup to make any real progress, as the Valkyrie, unfortunately for Ulysses, gets a little bit distracted there by the Chiron. It's going to be retreating away. Now Ulysses getting the villagers out. It looks to me, we still don't see any barracks down. Oh! I don't mind this one bit. This could be an insanely strong, smart play here from Ulysses. The idea is 3 town centers is better than 2. The problem is that it's a little bit slow. We'll see what Soup's going to do here. Soup staying 2 town center. He's going military buildings. What can you attack though? What can you actually do with this? That's the big question. He's going to be making Toxotes. He's going to be making hoplites. Ulysses is going to be sitting back, playing defensive. He's going to be eating his herdables here. He's got safe wood on this location. He can throw farms down back here. He can throw farms in his main base. He can get himself watchtowers. He's eating the berries over here, but this is a very dangerous spot to be eating berries. Obviously, he's going to want to eat these baboons, eat these hyena. As Norse, it's really good to do that. And Soup actually hasn't scouted that just yet, as we are seeing early walls being thrown up here. Soup, very smart to do that. And I mean, funnily enough, now that you see the 3rd town center, and this is the weakness of losing your Katoskopos super early, a really good way to continue here is to go fast mythic age here through Hephaestus into a really brutal underworld idea, or something like maybe an early Artemis as well could be an idea as well, with an underworld to do some really strong amounts of damage. As the double longhouse getting thrown up here, the villagers getting spammed out. And I'm interested to see now Soup sees the 3rd town center. What is his reaction going to be? We don't see any attempt at changing anything. He's just like, all right, I'm going to throw down a 4th military building and let's get going. Let's punish this. And we'll see what Ulysses is going to be able to do to defend this. His gold mine is open. He did use Dwarven gold mine in the early stages of this game, so he doesn't have that safe extra gold mine here. As Soup's simply just going to be marching straight in to Ulysses' base here. What does Soup see? Not a whole lot. He doesn't know where the gold is. He doesn't know that it's just here. It could be anywhere, apparently, here for Ulysses, as we're going to be seeing the units retreating back here. We see some straggler units getting taken out on the back, as Ulysses is going to start producing his own units to defend. He's getting himself raiding cavalry out immediately here, as the units out of position. Just slightly nice play there by Ulysses. able to dodge around Soup's units as Ulysses retreats back up to the top position. We've got more farms coming out here for Ulysses. He's got so many villagers on food. These villagers over here completely safe now because these walls are coming up. He's going to be able to wall in the baboon as well to eat those, as the Minotaur here is tanking town center fire here. This is smart. You can sit underneath this town center beautifully by utilizing this, and we do see that Ulysses manages to refocus his town center there onto the Toxotes as Soup does retreat away. And Soup now is continuing to pump out these units here. He's getting his houses, 90 of 90 population, needs a couple more. Oh, is this what I think it is? I love this from Soup. I think this is really smart. If Soup gets himself the upgrade for the Minotaur here, which it looks like is going to go, he's going for 6 villages on favor, gets the upgrade for the Minotaur, goes Bull Minotaur, 150 food, 14 favor a Minotaur, and then just pushes town centers, because this has decent crush damage, and it's really hard to defend a mass Minotaur here. And because Ulysses has gone 3 town centers, he's stuck in the classical age. It's going to do so much damage here. As the Toxotes push forward, we see the Herser getting taken out over here. The Gatherers as well going to get taken down. As we'll see Soup retreating back here, but Ulysses, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I guarantee that these Minotaur are going to be doing at least something in this matchup, as we see Labyrinth of Minos on the way. The 7 villages on favor. You don't need more than 7. 7 villages on favor is roughly equal to about 5 monuments here. As we see the Herser already over on this position. The Pegasus going to be scouting around for something to attack. As Ulysses, he doesn't know what's coming for him. He's got no idea here. Soup's got this Minotaur queued up. Unfortunately, I think he paid the full 200 food for that. If you queue it up before the upgrade comes in, I don't think you pay. I think you pay the full amount. But that's fine. He's going to be spamming these guys out. And now Soup is just going to be going full ham on this town center. Ulysses wants to buy as much time as he possibly can here. He's at a 130 of 145 population. A potential restoration here might be the way to go, as well as look at this Bull Minotaur. 15 damage, 10 crush, as the Herser is getting taken down. Still no restoration. There it is. Still going after this town center ever so slowly here, as Ulysses has to retreat back. He needs to take down that Herser there, but gets pulled back. Ulysses coming back, might need to sack the town center actually here, as Soup is slowly starting to get these Minotaur. They might be able to be built almost consistently here. Just a little bit lacking on the favor there, as the Minotaur does go down. Soup's going to be retreating back, does a little bit of damage, but not able to take the town center down just yet, as Soup going to continue to pump these Minotaur out. He does need more villagers on farms immediately right now, as we do see the forest fire coming in. Ulysses chasing these units back here. And we'll see how that's going to go. More Minotaur coming in onto this fight here with the Herser are out, but Herser get taken down very fast by Toxotes, as that's exactly what Soup targets down immediately there. Beautiful micro by Soup, as Ulysses pulling back as best as he can. We're getting ourselves Thundering Hooves as well, though. Surely Ulysses must see Bull Minotaur are the unit of choice here, and he's going to have to get some more Herser out here to win these fights, because I don't care how many units you've got. If they're not heroes, these Bull Minotaur are going to be doing absolute work here. 15 damage per second, 448 HP. Compare that to 8.8 damage, 115 HP. You see the difference. We do see some Valkyries coming out, though, for Ulysses here, as these Bull Minotaur able to take down the Raiders almost in one shot here, as the Chiron going to work on this Valkyrie over here, the Ajax going to work over here, the Bull Minotaur doing tons of damage here, as now Ulysses has to retreat back yet again here. Obviously, Ulysses, if we can get to the heroic age, will have access to Frost Giant, and they are going to be able to deal with these Bull Minotaur, but the question is, will he be able to do so or not? He does have an armory out. Does he have any armory upgrades? It looks like he does not, as now the Bull Minotaur straight back onto this town center here. The throwing axemen just get absolutely annihilated by Toxotes. If you can micro those just a little bit here, it can be enough. As if we come and jump over to Soup's perspective here, he's running out of the food that he needed. as he's only got 13 villages on resources now, maybe too many on gold for the time being. Take those gold villages off, put them onto farms or something like that would be a way forward here, as it looks like Soup now pushing forward, dropping the archery range onto this position to try and have some sort of a forward position, forward stronghold here, as the final Bull Minotaur getting taken down by the Hearser here. As these Valkyrie are now going to be doing some good damage. There's another Bull, it's not final Bull Minotaur. There's still another one over here, but the throwing axeman repairing this one up, going to be nullifying the damage that it's actually doing here. As Soup needs to be getting himself out some more heroes to deal with those Valkyrie here, as he has to retreat back. Ulysses defends nicely here, and he's out of resources. He's out of food. He's finished up on the baboons over here onto the wood. Tons of villages right now. He's got 13 on food only, but 60 villages kind of total on wood and gold here, as Ulysses can go mass throwing axemans at this point in order to defend, but he's going to need to slowly start throwing those farms down, as that's exactly what he's doing over here. He's got lots of idle gold villages here to build those farms. But he's going to be able to get those up relatively quickly here. The problem for Norse in the classical age is they don't get access to those crazy upgrades, the winter harvest, the irrigation to make those farms ridiculously strong. So you have to kind of go up to something like 30 or 40 villages on food in order to support everything that you really want to support here. Soup, on the other hand, trying to get his Ajax out. 26 villages on food now. He has managed to get over onto these baboons over here, which will help him out just a little bit, as the hoplites pushing back in onto this position. The Hades Shades are helping out tons here as well. Those are free resources, as we do see a cheeky wall getting thrown up over here. Ulysses is going to be trying to take down those villages as best as he possibly can, as more Bull Minotaur are coming in now. Remember when we were saying the 7 villages is worth 5 monuments? It's also worth 7 villages. So that's around about, 7 times 60 resources a second. Sorry, so 7 times 60 resources a minute that Soup is actually missing out on here. He's got 6 actually, 6 times 60. You do the math to work that out. But it's a lot of resources that Soup's not gathering, as he doesn't need that extra favor right now because he's at max population. So he might want to think about pulling those off, pushing them over onto wood, pushing them onto something else in order to do something there. But it looks like Soup, yet again, well, he's still getting damage done, but Ulysses is getting closer and closer to the next age. And now he's stopped building villages. He's got plenty of villages out. He's happy with how many barracks does he have here? He's got himself 6 barracks at this point. Absolutely insane here, as Soup's still trying to push through here, and the town center getting taken out. Not actually able to get taken out still, as Soup's push just not able to get through. And I think that Soup has to be thinking, maybe, just maybe, attacking this location was not the best of ideas. He knows that there's a gold mine here. He knows there's a gold mine here. He knows that there's other places he can attack, but just the slight walls that Ulysses has put up has made Soup not want to target that position down here, as the raiding cavalry coming through, but are still getting completely annihilated by these Bull Minotaurs. These Bull Minotaurs are they're just bonkers here, basically, at this point. As these villagers get pulled back, they will see a side build coming through here for Ulysses, as he's like, yep, I'm in on this position, no problems. Still no heroic age for Ulysses, as one of the more crazy classical fights we've ever seen continues here. These Bull Minotaur, these 3 Bull Minotaur, another temple coming down for Soup, as he's like, yeah, I've got too much favor here. I can just spam him out with another temple. This rarely happens, as we can see 2 temples producing Minotaur here, but the overwhelming presence of Ulysses' army, the extra 15 population, is coming in absolutely huge here in this game. As more units coming forward, we'll see if Soup can continue to get value in this game. There's only the 1 Hearser here, as it looks like Soup's pulling back, but I mean, he can still kind of get value here in this fight. Ulysses now starting, no, he's still just pumping units out. No Valkyrie getting built here anymore for Ulysses. He definitely should be thinking about that with the 100 favor in the bank and all 43 villages on food that he has. as there's just so many Minotaur out here at this point, and we are seeing that Ulysses decides he needs to pull back once he sees all of those Minotaur, realizing he can't really take that fight. How are the armory upgrades looking? We see some decent armory upgrades here for Ulysses as opposed to Suppe, who's got none. As Suppe gets pushed off of this gold mine with a handful of Ulfsark coming out to take them down. The villagers have plenty of gold over here and here, but the walls are up and those villagers can't retreat, so they're all going to be falling. Meanwhile, over here we do see the Ulfsarks knocking on this wooden wall as Ulysses is trying to take this game into a very, very different position here. There's so many bull Minotaur. There's 5 bull Minotaur here as Ulysses is going, how do I kill off 5 bull Minotaur with classical age Norse here as Suppe has finally managed to push Ulysses back. Ulysses is spamming units out as best he can. Now he's making the Valkyrie. Wouldn't be a bad idea to build another temple actually in order to get all of his Valkyrie out to try and deal with these bull Minotaurs. They're now trying to take out the town center. We've got a bunch of Hursa being trained by Ulysses to try and finish these or actually deal with these, and they do a lot of damage. They cost a lot of resources. Ulysses now getting closer and closer to being able to advance to the heroic age. He's just about there. He's got the food, just about needs the gold as well. Let's check out the economic upgrades. We've got all of the economic upgrades for Ulysses as the Minotaur get finished off here, not able to take down the town center yet again. Meanwhile, raids coming through by Ulysses onto Suppe's economy here. Suppe's still not up to his 3rd town center. We see an armory getting built. He's got an armory already for Suppe. He's getting his heroes back out here as the bull Minotaur still pushing forward into this position. We've got watchtowers coming through for Ulysses now. He's like, yeah, let me just solidify this position just a little bit more. I don't want to lose this. And Bragi, the god of choice by Ulysses. Bragi says, I don't care. I'm going Bragi. Obviously, Skadi is the best option here, but Bragi is troll. He's going to be using flaming weapons to clean up this army or something. A little bit of low-key BM as the units trying to push through onto this position. The village is going to be fighting just a little bit here, but the Ulfsark's going to get continually trained out of this position. Longhouse is coming down as well here as the units pushing through. We see the Minotaur getting taken down as the Hades Shades doing their best shenanigans here to help out in this fight. But Bragi about to hit. How far off is Suppe? He is not close. He's getting himself the 3rd town center. His gold mines have been getting taken out. Bragi hits here, and obviously Ulysses is now going to immediately be able to go up to heavy infantry, heavy cavalry, as well as the flaming weapons gets dropped onto this position. Look at those units, up to 9.9 damage for the throwing axemen, up to 17.60 damage for the raiding cavalry, and 18.4 damage for those Hursa here, as Battle Boar are going to come out on mass, I would assume, for Ulysses. He's going to be able to get his economic upgrades as well. He's getting himself all of the upgrades at once. His upgrades coming through. There's the heavy infantry coming through. Suppe's still able to kind of hold on here, but the raid's going to continue to move in onto this position. We see even stone walls coming through for Ulysses. Ulysses showing how strong the Norse economy can be here. As what can Suppe do? He's got himself the 3rd town center, trying to get himself up to villager population. He's on multiple different gold mines. He's only at unupgraded. He's got unupgraded hoplite here. He does have medium toxotes, but at this point, Suppe's down to 95 of 145 population. He is getting gold on this position over here. He's got himself all of his upgrades that he can potentially get for his economy, but the heavy throwing axemen are in. The map control is completely secured here for Ulysses. He's completely constricted Suppe into his base. We see a hill fort coming down as well for Ulysses so that Ulysses can start making himself something else. The market, where's the market? Okay, he puts the market up in the corner. Potential for some trade to be made here while he advances to the next age. Bragi obviously could be game ending, or Balder I should say, game ending with how many villages have been built here. But I mean, Tyr as well would be brutal, and that's what we're seeing. No sense in going all in against potential Hapaspist, as Fimbulwinter is going to do as much damage as it needs. Double hill fort can mean bravery Ulfsark here as well for Ulysses, as Suppe is now back up to full population. He's getting himself masons. He's getting himself the the Chiron. If you expect your opponent is going to the Mythic Age, it's as Greek. You always want to leave these heroes in your base. Just leave your heroes in your base. They can actually deal with those Fimbulwinter Wolves, and you don't take as much damage. But very rarely do we see that happening. As Ulysses here, he's getting himself trade. He's getting himself Jarls. He's taking out all these forward buildings here. Soup needs to figure out an army composition that's going to be able to deal with what Ulysses is building. Now, obviously, Hypaspists are really good against infantry as their counter infantry, but there's Jarls going to be coming as well, and the side builds will be coming over here, pushing in onto this location here, and everything else to boot as we see these units coming in. Ulysses, he's getting Jarls, he's got himself heavy raiders as well. The units pushing through, battle boars coming in. Ulysses can go in with Fenris Wolves as well if he wants. We see a whole bunch of buildings coming down here for Soup to try and block off the units from pushing through here. I mean, there's just a wooden wall over here though if he wants to get in there, but with the battle board special, it actually allows him to get in onto this position. There's the Apollo through for Soup, so he will have access to Underworld. So there is a little bit of a scared Ulysses here as the Fimbulwinter does get dropped. Can hit all of the resources of Soup. Soup's got lots of resources in the bank for the moment, but he's losing units incredibly fast here in this fight while not going to be able to rebuild his units. We see fortified town centers coming in here as well for Soup as Ulysses, he's getting targeted down over here. The Bull Minotaur pushing, getting taken down. The Huskarl coming in as well. We're now starting to see the Hypaspis coming in, but Soup's got no resources left in the bank. Ulysses, on the other hand, has got what looks to be infinite resources with these gold mines coming through. He's only got a handful of gold left, so we will have to get that trade started relatively soon here, but he does manage to push in here nicely. Trying to push through this location here with some raiding cavalry. I mean, yeah, I guess I would build an Ulfsark or something, make a hill fort, and then make some bravery Huskarl there if I was Ulysses. As he does push in on this position, the score differential is absolutely gigantic, but there's no, beyond economy, there is no tangible advantage which Ulysses has managed to get here in this game. And like technology, economy is a way to get yourself an advantage in the game, but it's not necessarily a way to win a game. You need to push off gold, you need to get the population advantage, you need to cut trade, essentially cut gold, cut population, other ways to win in Age of Mythology. And Soup knows that, so he's going to attempt to continue to take strong fights, attempt to slowly get himself the upgrades that he needs to compete with these champion units, with all of the armory upgrades that they've got coming in. You've already got full iron in for Ulysses, and now he's going to be getting dragon scale shields here as well. So these are some incredibly buff Norse units that are coming in here for Ulysses. The problem is that, well, it's a slight problem. This is exactly what Norse needs to do. The game plan for Norse is to go up to roughly, if we actually quickly check right now, I'll take a quick, oops, that's the wrong button. If we take a quick look at the post game and look at how many civilian units he's got, you go up to 100-ish, 110 villages. So Ulysses is going to get his trade route going. So that's going to go up to 110-ish villager count. Get all of your armory upgrades, and then you transfer your dwarves and maybe some gatherers as well into Ulfsarks to make a push and win the late game that way. And that's exactly what Ulysses is going to be doing here, slowly but surely finding his way into that position here. As look at these upgrade differential. We've only got full copper to full iron, nearly full dragon. Or is that what it's called? The full 4 unique upgrades. It's going to be a very, very difficult time for Soup to trade efficiently here against these units. So we'll see what he's going to be able to do. Is he is pulling back lots of gold in the bank here for Soup. But the wooden walls here just about to fall as these 3 champion raiders are going to cause absolute havoc onto this gold mine. These raiders have got 162 HP, 12.8 damage, and 41% hack armor. They do not die fast at all, and there will be more units to come in to replace them, as we do see a forward hill fort being dropped here by Ulysses. Sentinels getting dropped now by Soup as well, to give him a little bit of defense here, and we'll see how much that's going to help as Soup's now at 126, 160 population. He doesn't have a market up to buy food at this point. He needs a lot more villagers out, and he needs a lot more economy here. Not only that, we see this gold mine getting grabbed. See these ox caravans got coinage. We've got nearly all the upgrades. Just need flood control through for Ulysses. He might have forgotten that one there. Yeah, he's forgotten that one, unfortunately, but it's all fine there. As we see the dragon scale shields in, still not getting himself the what's the thing called? I can never remember. The Hammer of the Gods and the Meteoric Iron Mail as the next really expensive upgrades for him to get. But I'm sure he'll get those fairly soon here. And we're still seeing Battle Ball getting trained. Funnily enough, at this point, once you've got fully upgraded units, they're actually more pop efficient than myth units. The way that it basically works is you take a quick look at the difference in armor and HP and population. It ends up that the damage, the DPS that human units do with fully upgraded stuff tends to be better than like a heroic age myth unit. Maybe you can make Fire Giant, Colossus, that kind of unit, but the heroic age units are not so good there, as Soup realizes that things are going to be going very poor for him here. He decides to tap out. He can't get the gold that he wants. His base is going to slowly start to fall. He doesn't want to fight anymore. He is sitting at 140 pop, but his army is just not going to cut the mustard against what Ulysses has constructed, and it's just going to be a slow and painful death, as we also see side builds coming in onto this position as well. Soup just cannot defend against what is coming for him here in this game. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.